The reason that iodine got put into table salt in the first place is because years ago there were, especially in inland areas, high incidences of diseases, thyroid diseases that were caused by lack of iodine. But this, you know, in contemporary times, and especially as we live on the coast, and especially as we get iodine from all kinds of different sources, including even meat, depending on where the animal, you know, grazed, and because we eat, you know, we have access to seafood, the iodine thing is not nearly as important. And iodized salt does have a really very metallic, unpleasant flavor. The only time a celiac should not be having iodine, you can have salt whenever you want, but iodine exacerbates dermatitis herpetiformis during an outbreak. So if you have that, you must avoid even sea salt with a tiny amount of iodine that it might contain. But once the rash is cleared up and you're back to normal, a little iodine in the salt, if you wanted it, is not going to hurt you. But I find it just a much better thing from a taste point of view not to bother with iodized salt at all. If you're making a chocolate cake, add a tiny pinch of salt because it brings up the flavor.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or a chocolate mousse,
Yep.
tiny pinch of salt. But if you bring cold water to a boil, it will have more oxygen in it. All right? The hot water that's been sitting in a tank, or alas, in a piped in thing, does not have the oxygen. And if it doesn't, it's going to make the tea or whatever else flat tasting. It's the oxygen with the food or the drink that actually pops the flavor. In the front of the book, you will find there's a little section that says some celiacs have the unfortunate situation where they have multiple allergies with which they must deal. And here are several very common substitutions you can make if you happen to be nut intolerant or, lactose intolerant or whatever.